At 3 a.m., a founder replays a missed target and hears the word layoffs echo in silence. The next morning, the team seeks certainty, but the situation offers no clear answers and no script. Hard situations are challenging because they change rapidly and punish those who believe a simple solution exists. A leader must act while emotions clash with logic, and while information remains incomplete and constantly shifting. The true tests come after achieving big goals, when hiring goes wrong, communication breaks down and credibility falters. The outcomes can include panic, entitlement, sleepless nights, and the difficult work of rebuilding trust and execution. A company may appear healthy on paper, yet employees quietly wonder if leadership understands what is happening. When the dream turns into a nightmare, the hardest moments force decisions that cannot be delegated or delayed. Next, the discussion focuses on surviving the struggle, telling the truth, handling layoffs, building systems, and leading in wartime. This video is inspired by The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, and subscribe for more real CEO playbooks. The struggle begins when dreams turn into nightmares, making you question whether you should continue. It is fueled by collapsing confidence, shrinking options, and the feeling of isolation in your decision. This state often pushes leaders toward denial, frantic changes, or silence, which can make problems worse and harder to solve. It also weakens teams because the leader stops sharing context, causing smart people to misdirect their efforts. Cash becomes scarce, customers leave, talent quits, and every conversation feels like it is happening underwater. In that moment, spreading the burden and involving more people in the fight can create new opportunities. The core lesson is that surviving long enough keeps possibility alive, as tomorrow can look very different from today. Greatness is not guaranteed, but the struggle is the proving ground where leaders earn durability and judgment. Name the struggle out loud to a trusted group, then ask for specific help on the most critical problem. Stop judging yourself in the moment, choose one next action, and keep moving until the next opportunity appears. Telling it like it is means plainly stating the company's problems without using optimism tricks or strategic silence. The mechanism is simple transparency. You share what is broken and why it matters, then invite solutions. Trust becomes the multiplier because when trust is high, communication can be brief and still believed. When trust is low, explanations explode, rumours grow, and even good decisions feel suspicious to those executing them. A CEO worries alone about a product flaw, loses sleep, and avoids telling engineers who could fix it. Once the problem is shared, the same engineers often become energized because they finally know what needs changing. This approach matches the reality of hard things because no single brain can solve every hidden issue. A healthy culture moves bad news fast, so leaders must reward honesty instead of punishing messengers. Choose one high-risk problem, explain it to the whole team with context, and assign owners to attack it. Then repeat the pattern weekly because consistent truth-telling builds a foundation that survives shocks and resets. A layoff breaks trust because leaders have asked people to believe the future would be good. To rebuild trust, leaders must come clean about failures, explain the reasons, and treat people with respect. Delaying after deciding makes everything worse, as leaks force managers to lie, stay silent, or appear uninformed. Clarity is essential because the reason is company performance, not a secret cleanup disguised as a positive opportunity. When a manager is told to deliver the news, they receive no training, no script, and no benefits details. That manager will stumble, and the employee will remember every detail, making preparation a moral requirement. The leader owns the tone because the message is for those staying, and they watch how colleagues are treated. Being visible after the announcement signals care and reduces the fear that the company will abandon people entirely. Prepare managers to deliver clear, non-negotiable decisions, then equip them with support details and time for questions. For more guidance on layoffs, truth-telling, and rebuilding team trust, subscribe and keep these playbooks close. Management debt is the future pain created when leaders avoid hard processes like feedback, performance reviews, and clear standards. The mechanism is delay. You skip structure today to feel fast, but you pay later through confusion and politics. Without regular feedback, people rarely improve on weaknesses they do not see, and directions feel fuzzy across the company. The silent tax is consistently poor execution, because everyone is guessing what good looks like, and nobody corrects course. In a 25-person startup, avoiding formal reviews to stay friendly can lead to a weak performer surprising everyone months later. In that vacuum, managers admit they were unclear, and the whole team learns that standards can be negotiated. Training is the counterweight because even smart people still need shared expectations, examples, and practice in complex roles. When managers train directly, the organization compounds what good looks like, instead of relearning basics through repeated mistakes. Create a simple feedback rhythm, define what excellent looks like, and give corrections early before resentment hardens. Write a short training guide for one role, teach it yourself, and watch how quickly performance becomes consistent. Leading without knowing the destination requires courage, as the right choice can still feel terrifying. The process involves disciplined decision-making. You decide who is in charge, pick a direction, and accept responsibility for outcomes. Some leaders are type 1s who love big decisions, while others are type 2s who prefer the process, goals, and steady execution. A company needs both types, as ignoring decision work creates chaos and ignoring execution work prevents scaling and follow-through. Two founders insist on both deciding everything, so employees chase double approval and progress slows for everyone. The fear is emotional, but the fix is structural. Choosing one decision-maker removes daily friction immediately. In peacetime, leaders can build culture and recruiting machines, but wartime demands focus, speed, and sometimes painful cuts. Mastery is knowing when to follow protocol and when to violate it, as survival can depend on unusual moves. Get the logic out of your head and onto paper, then focus on the road rather than the wall. Practice one wartime decision this week. Decide fast, communicate clearly, and let the organization execute without hesitation. The most challenging aspect of leadership is not dreaming big, but acting well when the dream breaks and the stakes become personal. While there is no universal recipe, there are repeatable habits that keep teams moving during uncertainty and loss. You learn to name the struggle, share burdens, and keep looking for the next move instead of freezing. You also discovered why truth builds trust, why layoffs demand clarity and presence, and why systems prevent management debt. Together, these habits reduce panic, shorten confusion, and help teams execute even when conditions keep shifting. They also improve relationships as people respect leaders who tell the truth, enforce standards, and absorb responsibility. Start with one recurring problem, explain it plainly, and invite the team to solve it rather than hide it. Then build one simple process for feedback or training, because good intentions do not replace shared practice. When the next crisis arrives, focus on the road, decide who leads, and keep the organization aligned with reality. For more episodes that translate messy CEO moments into clear actions, subscribe and build steadier leadership under